For decades, one city has been used as the ultimate benchmark for economic transformation. Shenzhen. Once a quiet fishing village, today it's a global technology powerhouse, home to companies like Huawei, Tencent, and DJI. Shenzhen didn't just grow, it exploded. Now the question many investors, policymakers, and Southeast Asian watchers are asking is this: can Malaysia build its own Shenzhen? At first glance, the idea doesn't sound far-fetched. Malaysia already has many of the ingredients that China had when Shenzhen was created. Strategic location, manufacturing experience, political stability, and most importantly, ambition. But ambition alone doesn't create a Shenzhen. Let's break down what Malaysia has, what it lacks, and whether a Malaysian Shenzhen is realistic, or just a dream. Why Shenzhen worked in the first place? To understand whether Malaysia can replicate Shenzhen, we first need to understand why Shenzhen succeeded. In 1980, China designated Shenzhen as its first special economic zone. This wasn't symbolic. It came with radical policies, tax incentives, relaxed regulations, foreign investment freedom, and massive government backing. Shenzhen became a testing ground. A place where China could experiment with capitalism without risking the entire country. Failures were tolerated. Speed was prioritized. Bureaucracy was minimized. Most importantly, Shenzhen wasn't just about factories. Over time, it evolved into an innovation ecosystem, combining manufacturing, hardware design, logistics, finance, and talent in one dense urban environment. That's the bar Malaysia is trying to reach. Malaysia's big advantage: location and stability. Malaysia sits at one of the most strategic trade crossroads in the world, the Strait of Malacca. Over 40% of global trade passes nearby. Unlike many developing economies, Malaysia also offers political continuity, a strong legal framework, English-speaking talent, and well-developed infrastructure. Compared to China in the 1980s, Malaysia is already ahead in basic living standards, education, and global connectivity. This gives Malaysia a unique opportunity. It doesn't need to catch up, it needs to leap forward. The rise of Penang and Johor. If Malaysia were to build a Shenzhen-like city, it wouldn't start from scratch. Penang is already known as the Silicon Valley of the East. Major semiconductor players like Intel, AMD, and Micron have long manufacturing bases there. In recent years, Penang has moved up the value chain, from assembly to design and R&D. Then there's Johor, especially areas near Singapore. Johor benefits from Singapore's capital, talent spillover, and global networks, while offering lower costs and more space. Some analysts believe Johor could become Malaysia's hardware manufacturing Shenzhen, while Penang becomes its chip design and deep tech hub. This two-city model is something Shenzhen never had, and it could be Malaysia's secret weapon. Industrial policy: Malaysia is getting serious. For years, Malaysia was criticized for being stuck in the middle-income trap. But that narrative is changing. The government has rolled out long-term plans focusing on semiconductors, electric vehicles, renewable energy, and advanced manufacturing. Billions of dollars in foreign direct investment have flowed in, especially as global companies look to diversify away from China. This China Plus One strategy is one of Malaysia's biggest opportunities. Companies want stability without geopolitics. Malaysia fits that profile perfectly. But here's the catch: investment alone doesn't create innovation. Where Malaysia still falls short. Shenzhen's real power came from its risk-taking culture. Entrepreneurs could fail fast, try again, and scale quickly. Malaysia, by contrast, still struggles with bureaucracy, slower approvals, and a more conservative business mindset. Startups often find it easier to sell to foreign markets than to navigate domestic regulations. Talent retention is another issue. Many of Malaysia's best engineers and founders end up in Singapore, the US, or Australia. Without bold reforms, faster decision-making, aggressive startup incentives, and tolerance for failure, Malaysia risks building an industrial park, not a Shenzhen. Talent is the real battlefield. Shenzhen attracted millions of young, hungry engineers from across China. Malaysia must do the same, not just locally, but globally. That means welcoming foreign founders, simplifying visas, offering competitive stock option rules, and building cities people actually want to live in. A Shenzhen isn't just factories and offices, it's nightlife, culture, density, speed, and energy. Malaysia has the lifestyle advantage. The question is whether it can match the intensity. The most likely outcome. Malaysia probably won't build a Shenzhen that looks exactly like China's. But it doesn't need to. Instead, Malaysia could build something different, a smarter, greener, more balanced version of Shenzhen. One focused on chips, clean tech, AI hardware, and regional manufacturing, without the extreme pressure cooker environment. In many ways, that might be even more attractive in today's world. So, can Malaysia build a new Shenzhen? The answer is yes, but only if it's willing to break old habits. The location is right. The timing is perfect. The global economy is shifting. What remains uncertain is whether Malaysia can move fast enough, and bold enough, to seize the moment. Because in the race to build Asia's next great innovation hub, waiting is the biggest risk of all.